one of the things I realized when I wrote my biography is that I didn't really talk much about my beliefs. There's not really much that's important to talk about because there's a lot of really nitpicky stuff we can talk about. I mean, the big important things is that I believe in a triune God, of course. I adhere to the articles of religion. I believe, the articles of religion that we have as a United Methodist Church, I believe wholeheartedly in. I believe in a triune God. I believe that Christ died on the cross for the salvation, that we have to accept his salvation. I believe in the Arminian view, same as John Wesley did. I believe in the Methodist view, which is the Arminian view, very similarly, right? The Nicene Christianity view, right? I'm pretty traditional in that regard. So I hope in that regard that gives you some comfort that I'm pretty normal pastor. I believe in the Nicene Creed. I believe in the Apostles' Creed. I believe the Serenity Prayer is a beautiful prayer. One thing I do believe is I think that the grace of God, that we do underestimate its power. I do want to be clear that I don't believe that we should make God's grace cheap, but I do believe that we undermine how powerful God's grace is. Because I've seen how powerful God's grace is, because for 27 years, I did not afford myself God's grace. That moment, that Aldersgate moment I talked about in my paper, that was the moment that I finally let God give me his grace. Because I didn't think I deserved it. There's still sometimes doubt that I still deserve it. So, I mean, that's pretty much it on my beliefs. I'm a pretty normal Methodist. I like to study a lot. I like to study lots of different views and beliefs. I studied the other denominations' views just because I like to be well-rounded in my thoughts, just to understand other people's points of views. I study lots of philosophy. I mean, I've studied it all. Well, I wouldn't say all, but I'm working on it. So I'm pretty open-minded, but I do adhere to a grounded foundation of that I am a United Methodist. And that's just the end of it. I am a United Methodist. And that's how I view myself. I love this church. I've been a part of it since I was a kid. I've had wavering faith through college. I will elaborate more on my faith story at some point, and we will talk about that more, hopefully sometime in one of my sermons. But my intention is to be United Methodist and stay focused as a United Methodist. And that is not to say that I don't have any intention of being ecumenical. If the idea arises that, hey, there's another local church that we could work with, I say go for it. Cornerstone Ministries has Act 1-8 ministries that we work with, like some local Baptist churches and whatnot. And it's a great thing that we do. We have all kinds of things. It's like there's no need to replicate things twice if we can already do it with other people that already do it. So I believe in ecumenicism. The idea that Christians should work together and not divide on denominational grounds. But I am Methodist. That's the frame of mind that I work in. I'm a lay servant of the United Methodist Church. That's how I view myself.